Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.
What's going on, y'all? This is Boss Roy here with your reading for the month of September. This is going to be your general reading. All right, guys, if you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Let's get started with your reading. All right, so guys, I got a channel message for you guys. You got a person that's in your energy. They're regretting their decisions, okay? They looked at the lens of love through like a praise kink, okay? This person got off on affirmations, okay? And I believe that some of you guys had the love language of sharing with other people as far as like words of affirmation, okay? So you really do speak life into people around you, okay? So it's encouragement. You guys say things in a loving manner that makes people really, just attached to your energy. But one thing about it, guys, because you're showing it not through a kink perspective, you're showing it in a true loving manner. So you're not going to be like a yes man or a yes woman, okay, in a situation, okay? You're looking at the situation with this person. You probably gave him or her, truthful, accountability conversations. Like, hey, you know what, that's probably not correct. I think you need to look at it from like another angle. It could be talking about, work situations or how this person handles like family situations. You were listening, being encouraging, but you weren't this yes person, okay, for this past person, okay? You weren't just saying like, oh yeah, you're right, you're this, you a box of chocolate cake, you a box of strawberry cake. You just basically gave them, positive interaction, but you also gave it from a very logical perspective, and you weren't just being in this space where it's having this person like enabling their bad behaviors, okay? This person could have chose someone else, okay? They could have went, you guys could have separated, and you sort of saw their loving behavior or their interaction when it came down to you as sort of like childlike, so you just walked away from it. This person's really regretting the decisions as far as like having you walk away from them, okay? They're in a space right now where they're like, you know what, this is what they meant by, me just sort of like, seeing positivity and not really seeing things from like a logical lens or something that I can sort of work on myself with, okay? They're regretting the factor of not really being well-rounded when it comes down to really understanding what criticism is and when someone does it in a loving place, okay? They're really looking at, their life right now, whoever they chose, okay? They could be in a single position right now. They could be in a relationship right now where they're regretting their actions. They're regretting their decisions because they're realizing that this person that came into their life, they're manipulating how they view things in their environment, okay? This person could have just wanted them just based on physicality. They could have wanted them based on security when it came down to money, you name it. But they're realizing that they were juiced up by this individual, okay? And you weren't juicing this person up, okay? You were like, hey, something, you give people their props when they have it, but you're not just going to be sitting back saying like, oh, wow, you got it going on, constantly. You have a place in your mindset where you're like, okay, I want people around me to, understand and progress in a right type of manner, in a spiritual level and also in a logical level as well. And that's something that's, this person's really regretting that they lost because you kept it real with this person, okay? You kept it real so they can sort of know how to interact in different circles and spheres. And they're realizing that a lot of their life is being stagnated in their growth process because they didn't really develop understanding how to get past, being in this childlike perspective when it comes down to communication, okay? They didn't realize that, it could have came from like, childhood wounds in their life where people were a little bit like overly critical, okay? So when they got into their adult life, this, like I said, this kink mentality when it came down to praise, they really attached onto it because they received so much criticism growing up, okay? And lots of times when you, like I said, when you have certain behaviors that you really like to hear or you have certain like attributes that you like to have around you, you got to look at the deeper root. And this person is really taking the time to look at the deeper root because they're losing a lot of themselves in this interaction, in this relationship, or they're seeing how people are now distancing themselves from them because they don't know how to take proper constructive criticism. They don't know how to take criticism from a loving manner. They think that criticism equals, hatred or dislike. And that's not, that's not a logical perspective, guys. That's not even like, right type of mindset, for someone to be in, okay? All right, so that's the channel message. I'm going to go into like what's the news oracle deck. Let's see what's going on more with this individual here and what's going on in their mind and the situation, okay? Okay, we got player. All right, so playing the field, not looking to settle, seeking options. Okay, pull the rest of the cards and then I'm going to show them to you. We got, let's see, Bonnie and Clyde. Rebound. Okay, like I said, they could have picked someone else over you, and then they're realizing that loving relationship is just basically smoke and mirrors. Okay, they're seeing that this person doesn't have them in any accountability, and that they just want them for what they can get on a physical type of level. Okay, let's see, we got penny pinching. Okay. All right, we got harmony. We got black sheep. Laughter. Loss. I'm going to pull one more card. Long haul. Okay. Wait a minute. Get and pull one more. So I'm going to pull one more for you. Okay. Let's see. Key player. All right. Let's get started. Like we said, player playing the field, not looking to settle, seeking options. Okay. Some of them are in this singles perspective right now because they're realizing that, this Bonnie and Clyde relationship, okay, ride or die, us against the world, that ultimate partnership, they're realizing that, this was not the right move, okay? This was not the right choice. Like I said early on, this person here was enabling their bad behavior, okay? And they're realizing this person did not have them grow, and they fell into this relationship because they were looking at it as a rebound from you, okay? Like I said, flighty, temporary option, okay? This person was a temporary option, and they thought that you were going to always be around, okay? And that was not the case, okay? They realized soon in a hurry that this person was not meant to be on their pathway, okay? And they're regretting the fact that they're in this, this single perspective because they settled for a rebound option, okay? Like I said, they're learning these hard lessons because, like I said, that ego, so many times people can have that trauma growing up, okay? They could have traumatic moments, okay? We're all adults. We could all face those things. But at the end of the day, if they're not getting healing from that to realize, okay, what's about this, what's causing me to be sort of stunted with my communication pattern, okay? What's causing me to not really grow in a proper way when it comes down to interacting with other people, okay? If they're still stuck on just, their pleasure, okay? Having that me against the world perspective, okay? And that everybody else is the problem, then guess what? They're not going to really grow in any type of scenario, okay? This person could be also penny pinching, okay? Financial struggles, saving up and budgeting, okay? Because this Bonnie and Clyde situation drained their pockets. They're realizing that, this person that had their best interest, they were up there, like I said, that praise Kink, you're so great, you're amazing, you're this, you're that. And they realize, while they getting these compliments, okay, it's coming out their pocket. You know what I'm saying? All these affirmations, and like I said, these fake affirmations that they get, and they're paying for that, okay? They're realizing that this person's not really genuine. They're only saying this stuff when things are going into their wallet, okay? You guys could have looked at them to really gain a true relationship, okay? You're not in this perspective where it's like you're looking to get out of them, okay? And they're realizing that while they're penny pinching trying to save up, okay? They're realizing, okay, you know what? I made the wrong type of move, okay? While they were trying to band-aid their ego, and it could have been like a mild interaction when it came down to the disconnect, okay? You guys could have been shocked and surprised that this person can't really take, constructive criticism, okay? Or they can't really go about, hearing about, hey, you know what? You may want to examine that in your character, okay? You're a great person, okay? You're a wonderful, person to be around, but this is like a little bit, a chink in your armor, okay? You letting that person know. And they just sort of went out the deep end and found that rebound, okay? Instead of saying, you know what, let me hear this person out, okay? Because guess what? When people love you, when people care about you, okay, they're not going to just keep letting you go from some negativity, okay? They're not going to just have you keep going into like a brick wall, okay? This person, when you have somebody that's just looking to get theirs, they're going to have you go into a brick wall, okay? That Bonnie and Clyde, they're going to have you go into that brick wall situation, okay? You still have harmony, okay? You got balance, peace, and happiness, okay? Because you're the black sheep in the situation. Because you saw this coming. With this person here, you saw it coming. You saw that they were sort of running to a situation where this person was not looking to be in their best of interest, okay? And you're like, hey, you know what? If you want to move on, okay, you're in this Bonnie and Clyde situation, by all means, go about your business, okay? But you're not somewhere trying to, like, find or fight the narrative of the situation, okay? Because you got your peace, okay? Like I said, you guys moved on from the situation. You're not emotionally invested in it, okay? And this while this person, they thought that I could come back around. They didn't realize that, when you get distance to a situation, people are not just sitting back, waiting for you to come around. They're realizing that, you laughing in their face a little bit, okay? Hone is overjoyed and smiling. You're laughing like, hey, you know what? Sorry that happened to you. Sorry that you're in this penny pinching situation, okay? But you're content, okay? You're the black sheep. You're content in the situation, okay? And with them seeing that you're like, they could do a little, stalking. It could be social media, and also could be, like I said, if you're in the same community, they can look around and see what's going around in your environment, okay? Could be talking to people that you know of or whatever, and they're realizing, hey, you know what, there's no door opening for me to come back in this person's life, okay? And guess what? They're a little bit, they're in their feelings about it, okay? They could be like very much so reminiscing and like, in their feelings really saying, I made the wrong decision. I should have never had this person win in the cold when they're the only one that really checked me on my behavior, okay? And had a loving type of way when it came down to expressing, things that I need to consider for my own personal growth, okay? They're realizing that they're lost in the situation, okay? Ghosted cowardice, okay? You got also disappearing that right here. They're realizing that they're a coward in the situation without actually, really, channeling different things when it comes down to like, really respecting people around them in their environment. When it comes down to like, hearing other people out, they realize that ghosting you, okay, or walking away from the situation was a big mistake in their lives, okay? This is a big mistake because they can't get back into that good graces with you, and they're realizing that, hey, you know what, once the door is closed with you, guess what? You're laughing about the situation. You're like, hey, you know what? I know I'm laughing about it because guess what? You're not going to come back into my energy, messing up my harmony, okay? This person right here also, like I said, long haul, in it to win it, long-term intentions invested, okay? When you guys are connected in something, guess what? You're in it to win it. You're in it to really grow with the person, okay? You're realizing that, hey, people are not perfect. You're looking to say, hey, you know what? I'm here to encourage you when the need is, okay? When it's time to, like I said, give you some, fruitful advice. I'm going to do this in the right type of way. Like I said, you guys could have a love language that have, like, heavy ties to words of affirmation, okay? You're doing it in a very connected, effort. You're doing it in a way that's, like, brings about that encouragement, okay? And they're realizing that this is lost. This is lost, okay? They walked away from a good thing for someone just to fill their ego up, okay, to have them stuck in a relationship, okay? And they didn't gain anything from the situation. They're realizing that, with what they lost with you, they didn't gain anything when it came down to having something true and something that was like really for the long haul to invest in, okay? Because they're looking at you as the key player, okay? Like I said, important person playing a central role. They're looking at you like an irreplaceable person in their life, okay? They always had this thought process with you where you're that key person that could have been there to really give them that encouragement, give them that energy to really move forward in an effective type of manner, but they blew it. Okay, they blew it. They realized that they can't go back into the situation, that they can't go back to something that they lost because you're no longer that key person in their life. Okay, they're realizing, okay, moving forward, so through their healing process, that you just don't, shut the door out on people who have your best interests. Okay, you don't go into this player mode. Okay, where someone is really speaking truth in your life. Okay, that's not something. That's not a kink that you can just get anywhere, okay? When someone is actually after your real growth and your real, forward movement on an emotional level and also on a physical level as well, that's not something that you look at to say, okay, I can replace that, okay? This person learned the hard way, okay? We're going to pull some more cards. Let's see here. I'm going to go into the tarot deck here. Okay, 7 of Cups. You got Justice. You got 6 of Cups. We got, let's see, the World in reverse. We got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. All right, King of Wands. Right. Let's see. 4 of Cups. We got the Tower card here. Let's see, one more card. Okay, oh, we got everything is fine. And then we got the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Let's see. So we got Seven of Cups here. That's what got them in trouble, okay? The Seven of Cups, that's what got them in trouble because they thought they had options, okay? And you brought justice to the situation, okay? You're just looking at this person like, I'm not one of your options, okay? I'm not going to be one of your options and, you know, your love triangles, or I'm not going to be one of your options when it comes down to rekindling, okay? Because you're seeing this person bringing you an offer and it's coming from a very childlike place, okay? You got Six of Cups, okay? They're trying, like I said, they're coming back to you, okay, with a whole bunch of promises and a whole bunch of, empty words to you, okay? But you're looking at it from like a very logical perspective because you're turning it down. You're seeing that there's no Wheel of Fortune or the world is not going to be with this person, okay? You're realizing that it's going to be a waste of time. It's going to be a waste of energy, okay? Because the King of Wands knows what he or she wants, okay? They know what it's going to be like, you know, what energy they want to put in the situation, okay? And with you learning that this person is quick to devalue someone, okay? They're quick to, like, you know, put you in the options category when things are not coming about like in a way that they want it to be, or they're quick to put you in that options place where their needs are not, being met, or they feel that, you know, people are against them or whatever, and it's all in their mind. You're realizing that, you know, you're not going to put yourself in that situation again, okay? You're not going to put yourself in a space where you're going to get burned by their negligence, okay? You got the Four of Cups, okay? And also got the Tower as well, okay? You're over it, okay? Like our shirt says, you're over it, okay? You're no longer going to, you know, have this person in this, you're not going to encourage this person, okay? They're coming back to you. You could be very much so shut down in the situation. Like I said early on, I pulled that laughter card for you guys as well. You guys just like, okay, you know what? Hey, this is funny to me because you already knew the deal, okay? Some of you guys could be very intuitive, okay? So you knew that this, you know, this fake relationship that they had, okay, this relationship that they were in was going to come crashing down, okay? This Bonnie and Clyde situation, okay? Can't crash it down, okay? You knew that, okay? And this person's trying to, like, you know, mask the hurt, trying to be like everything's fine, okay? They could, you know, reach out and text you and see that their number's blocked, reach out and call you. You could either pick up and, you know, you shut it down right from there, okay? Or they realizing that you're out of reach, okay? And they're trying to play it off, okay? Some of them are going to play it off internally, and some of them you're going to really see them trying to play it off rather they had a connection with you over the phone, okay? Hey, they made their choice, okay? And they living with it, okay? This brought about a good tower moment in their lives because they're realizing that, you know what, not everybody out here cares about me, okay? And then, so this person could have had, you know, this mindset where it's like, okay, I could get another you. I could get a, you know, start over again. You know, people had the same type of, like, you know, love language that you have or whatever. They didn't realize that, you know, that praise kink is a kink. It ain't a love language, okay? They didn't realize that, okay? And they're realizing that you are self-contained in the situation. Okay, you got the Queen of Cups, right? I'm sorry. You got the Queen of Pentacles right here, okay? You're in a situation where it's like, okay, I'm invested in me. I'm happy with myself. Like I said before, this is male or female energy here. This is all energy. You're no longer taking your sanity and your calmness and your financial security to tie it into a situation where a person has you in an up and down roller coaster ride situation, okay? That's something that you're not going to bring to the table. And this person's realizing that, you know, all this, you know, bad behavior in the past is catching up with them. It's catching up with them, okay? We're going to pull from the Hard Truth deck here. We're going to close our reading out. I'm going to pull 2 cards for you guys. That's the energy drain, okay. So we have, let's see, lack of commitment. All right, so energy drain. This opportunity will deplete you, reevaluate your involvement, and seek opportunities that rejuvenate and inspire you, okay? So you already realizing that. That's already shown for the reader. You realizing that this will be a experience that's going to deplete you, okay? You're realizing that I don't want someone that's emotionally immature, okay, that doesn't know how to practice or understand what love truly is, okay? They only, they understand love when it's just coming just from a place of just like, okay, I just want to hear only positive things, okay? And you realize, you're like, okay, you have a damaged perspective, okay? You know, everything that you do, okay, in life is not positive, okay? You know, people are going to have to tell you, okay, when things are just not right. That's just, you know, being loving for a person to say, hey, you know what, look at this from, you know, this particular space, okay? You guys don't do it in a rude space, but if you see someone, you know, basically, like I said, causing a lot of disharmony in their environments or family situations or bad communication with you, you're going to call out to say, hey, we need to work on this, okay? And you're realizing that it's not worth your time to deal with this person, whatever, because this is going to drain your energy because they're not willing and receptive to really work on themselves. They're just sort of like in this space where it's like, I want that positivity back, okay? Because they're in a space where they're in this negative position, okay? Like I said, penny pinching, okay? They could be also emotionally penny pinching because they don't have, people feeding into them in a healthy way. They just want to have that positivity back in their life, and they're not really looking to change for you to show love in a healthy way. They still want to, run away from the situation when things are not going their way, okay? We got lack of commitment. Hesitation and half-hearted efforts are limiting your success. Find a path you can fully commit to and jump in with both feet for increased success, okay? This person, they will never find, okay, true love when they're jumping in and out of different cups, okay? When they play in the field like that, they're never going to find, true happiness, okay? It will always be that fleeting type of emotion, okay? And this person will always be in this rebound situation, okay? And they'll get rid of, like I said, good people, okay? And they'll burn those bridges because they always think that something else is around the corner that's going to have them enticed, that's going to have them moving forward in a positive direction, okay? You guys are closing the door in a situation. You guys are really going to be in a space where you know your worth and you know when to say you're over the situation, okay? All right, guys, this is your general reading for the month of September. Looking forward to talking to you soon. If you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.